Hello class, this is my assignment 3. I'm just going to give you guys a heads up. The last assignment that I did, I actually did the first section to this chapter 1. So in this presentation, I'm actually only going to be touching base on the 2 sections after. So for this slide, I will be talking about 3 different sections. The first one was create a landmark model, and I created the document that will connect everything all together and be able to show all the stuff that I just created. And the second one was create the row view, and in this one it's also just making it so that I can add pictures and lettering to it. And then the third section was customize the row preview, and in this I was able to edit how the row would be sitting with more than one line in the group. In section 4, I created the list of landmarks, and in doing this, I just created a new Swift document that was landmark Swift, and then I made that list dynamic. And in doing that, I made it so that it can display the elements of the collection by passing the data through. So for section setup, navigation between list and detail, I was able to create a file that was landmark detail that allowed me to put information from the first one that would be needed, the landmark. So that way when I go to click on one of these, it'll actually bring me to the information that was for these landmarks, the detail. Section 7, pass data into child views. In this one, I created a way to be able to have circle image map view and landmark detail actually display the information that you click on instead of having to hard code each row. Section 8, generate previews dynamically. In this one, I was able to adjust how the layout would look on different devices, meaning that it would be dynamic in all different device settings. So now we are on to the section of handling user input. So for the first slide, we're just setting up marking favorite landmarks. And this is just going into the landmark file itself and putting in a favorite property to the landmark structure, and then going into the landmark row and then adding that star fill landmark as favorite property. So for this section, filter the list view. This was just editing the landmark list documentation to include the add state private var function, and then being able to add in the var filtered landmarks and the list filtered. So for this one, add a control to the toggle, the state, and that's this little button right here. That was just adding the code needed to show favorites, or when that toggles off, showing the entire list. Section 4, use observation for storage. And in this one, I just went into the model data and did the declare a new model type using the observable macro, and then moving the landmarks array into this model. Adopt the model object into your views. So in this one, I went into landmark list and landmark detail, content view, and landmark apps to make sure that it had that environment model data or the at state private var, and then making sure that it all worked. In this section, then I added a favorite button to each landmark that could be clicked on. And in doing this, making sure that if I clicked on it, when I went back to the page, if I toggled that favorites only, that it would show the new selection. And this I did by creating a favorite button. And then I also organized my files into landmarks and helper, and then made sure that in the landmark detail I had to add an HStack bindable var for model data, and then making sure that it worked.